The nature of reality is unity or oneness or infinity. But when that reality manifests into creation, it manifests through the mechanism of opposites or polarity. Polarity, as it's used in the, say, political world, has a negative connotation, but polarity, as it's used in accordance with reality, is a deeper understanding that opposites are what allow a dynamic experience and movement and evolution. Hot and cold, night and day, closed and open, male and female. These polarized opposites may be in conflict with one another, but they're ultimately complementary properties that allow the other to exist, that work constantly in shifting tandem, much like the yin and yang of Taoism. And polarity has one unique aspect in the law of one cosmology, and that is polarity in consciousness. Ra says that we in this Earth environment um, can and do and need to rather polarize our consciousness toward what they call service to others or service to self. And they said you could consider it in terms of physics as radiation, that which freely gives and radiates and shines on the path of service to others, and that which absorbs into itself and takes into itself on the path of service to self. The choice is what Confederation sources say is the function of this entire Earth experience. It is to make this choice a fundamental choice that is made not just once, but again and again and again throughout the life experience as we deepen that choice and commit ourselves to that path. And the choice is how we will love, how we will serve. Will we serve others in the what Ra calls positive polarity, or will we serve the self in what Ra calls the negative polarity? The design of the third density, whether it's on this planet or any other planet in the infinite creation, is to facilitate the making of a choice of service to others or service to self. And when the constituent entities within any given third density do not make that choice, then they remain in an unpolarized state. And according to the testimony, an account of Confederation sources, the principal difficulty of this planet is that this group continually, chronically, doesn't make that choice. Repeatedly, actually. And what that results in is what Ra calls a sinkhole of indifference. And the way I interpret that is to say that there is a collective gravity well of unpolarized consciousness. People are neither committing themselves to one or the other, but rather seeking anonymity or distraction or comfort or that which keeps them living an unawakened, unconscious life. And you can see it in our consumer society and in our politics and the way that we find so much escape and comfort and distraction, which is not to say that comfort is a non-positive thing, just that it becomes a goal. It becomes a goal more important to the individual than does either serving the self on the negative path or serving others on the positive path. The difference between these two polarities, service to others and service to self, can be described in a variety of ways, starting with how each polarity uses catalyst, which is to say, how each polarity uses what happens to the person in the everyday life and throughout the life journey. The service to others path seeks to use catalyst through the open heart. It seeks to love and accept all catalyst. The negative polarity, service to self, seeks to control and manipulate. So what that boils down to is the relationship of the self to the self and the self to other self. For instance, the negative or service to self polarity seeks to manipulate, control, enslave, subjugate all other selves for the benefit of the self. They seek to acquire by deception, by enslavement and subjugation, the power of other selves so that they may accrue it to themselves and increase their own power. On the other hand, those of the positive polarity seek to lovingly, humbly serve others by seeking their empowerment, by being sensitive to their needs. It is a difference of love. The service to self polarity loves itself only and sees only itself as the creator and thus seeks to order the universe according to its design. Whereas the service to others polarity seeks to love the self and all others as the creator. I will try to reflect a little on how one polarizes service to others, but really what I have to say is one take on that could be called the art of living life on this planet. And there are so many ways to polarize service to others. In its essence, it is about opening the heart to, and in essence, it is about releasing the conditions on love and loving yourself, accepting yourself as you are, not changing yourself per se into a perfect being, but loving yourself and loving other selves and seeing the creator in each as they are. That is, according to Law of One, the key to polarizing positively. And it is in this love, as you know, when you feel love for someone or something, you want to help it. You want to give yourself. You want to make yourself available in service in one way or another. And that is according to their request and according to what you sense are their needs. In this love of the positive polarity, there's a desire to alleviate suffering, to be sensitive to suffering, and in that sensitivity to help lighten the load, so to speak, to help heal yourself and others. Some may understand service as like some form of activism or putting the self out there and working in the soup kitchen or in, some kind of active doing. And the doing, of course, is important. It is through the doing that we express often our polarity and that we are of aid to other people. But Ra indicates that the most fundamental and powerful service that the self offers is one of being. And what that means is by being more truly who and what you really are, which means discovering who you are and accepting who you are, you become as a light in the darkness. And the truer you are to yourself, the more that you release fear and the desire to control, and the more that you open your heart, the more that light shines through you and you become as a light in the darkness. And this service at this level is effortless. Before you lift a finger or say a word or do anything, even between your breaths, this energy effortlessly radiates from you, as you have surely felt in your own life or experienced when you've encountered others. There's a radiance to people who live from the open heart, and it is that radiance that is the service of being. That is what Ra describes as the most powerful way that one serves others, just by existing and keeping the heart open.